evolving journey that you're upon.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Hi.
I love what Esther Hicks teaches, that it's not the thing or the money or the car or the person that you're really after. It's how you think you're going to feel once you get those things.
That's right.
That you're really after. And so if you can imagine that emotion and that feeling, you'll become a match to those things, and they'll naturally draw into your life.
Yeah, it's not the feeling, it's the feeling that the little red sports car gives you.
Right, that you think you're going to get from.
That you think you're going to get from the car.
That's what you want.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You want things to make you feel better. But
That's
you can
right.
make yourself feel better with your own thoughts. You don't
Because
need
you can
things.
heal your life. Yes. Okay. We'll be right back.
You recognize that you are a being that has self-worth. Then you start to treat yourself differently. And I think that's what's so very important about loving yourself, is you stop beating yourself up, you stop making yourself wrong, you stop talking about how awful you are, and you start to treat yourself with a certain amount of respect. And this makes an enormous difference, because what you give out in life is what comes back to you.
That's a load of crap. I mean, it's not a load of crap, but it's kind of a load of crap, because I've always felt that that's what I am doing when I won't let something go. When people accuse me of not letting things go, when I have to demand an apology. When I, not require, because I don't mean to sound like I demand it, it's just essential to get that recognition that you were wronged, that acknowledgement of setting the record straight. No matter how small the detail may seem, that's what a person is supposed to spend their life doing. And this kind of conversation sounds like, babble to the police mindset, I think. It's a theory. Because when I attempted to speak publicly and from my heart share, really contribute, I was metaphorically spit at. The disrespect was off the charts, and not from the animals in the pews in the city hall, but the silence from public officials, whatever. I don't, a neutrality I can handle, but to actually see and, a week after I'm, sorry to say, making a fool of myself, crying because I fell apart, not 2 weeks later, the police are doing the same thing. After stealing my puppy, they're allowing someone to lie about a bathing suit. My pedal pushers and long yoga top with spaghetti straps. It was a perfect fat person bathing suit, but they just couldn't leave me alone and had to come up with technicalities to keep me out of the swimming pool, call the police, and the police backed that shit up. And here we are 9 months later with a woman, with a cracked out woman who puts in, so I don't think she's even cracked out. I believe she did it to instigate in her own little voodoo mind, which I won't even bother thinking about more than that. But just the fact that we're talking about a knife and the way I'm treated in the situation when I have reason to wonder is chilling, really. The amount of hate that I've been shown, and to all these years always try to make myself clear, but I think that they expect me to kiss up to people who've lied and who've I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand that, even if like the extensive background check that would be like if Bikram were to hear all these things and then spend money, which he has, or even just have conversations with people at the police department and to talk to one cop who had, a problem with me, or just to spread this stuff. Because that was the impression that Bikram gave me, that he did this background check. And even if that's not as intense as it seems like it could have been in my mind to explain why this horrible treatment, where even, a couple years later, I'm illegally tossed out onto the street from a studio that I accumulated $6,000 from working. It wasn't my original $600, but still I worked for that money. And to have it just all changed on me in the dark of night without any court papers or any recognition by the state or anybody, to just have a cop stand by chewing gum because her buddy got pissed at me. And then, if that's not bad enough, to have them write up a police report when I demanded one the next day, saying, playing with language by saying, well, she's not believed. No, they said she's known to be a violent person, not believed to have weapons on her at this time. It's what are you trying to imply? And that's the same mentality of the crackhead downstairs. A cop writes a police report like that, has the nerve to call me the next day, still have that message, saying, well, I don't know what your, complaint is, Miss Fortini, but you're welcome to call me at this number. And it's are you kidding me? When I clearly told her that I was promised half of money, less than half of the money, $2,500 back, so that I could just, it wasn't like this huge money-making business, but it was all I had. And so anyway, it's like their DARE program should be dare to be honest, and literally, in a scientific way, come at every single word out of everybody's mouth and notice that hierarchy of bullshit in the end is going to be why people do drugs, why anybody does drugs, because just like these people were saying, the thing we think we want, whatever, the addiction, the information that we have. I've watched people for at least 20 years do heroin, and have seen all different forms, so completely different colors, different, like I said, forms, powder, different color, powder, different granule size. Looking at this and noticing that you could put the label heroin on orange juice and people would pay money for it and think they were high after they drank it. The psychology, people think they're addicted, and just because one person dies, not that they don't matter, but because someone needs to transform their suffering into a cause because it makes them feel better, and you want to feel sorry for them. But to change laws and just think in terms of billions of people based on one situation is what the problem is. Kids react to the lies that we perpetuate because we're too cowardly to notice that what we think we're going to lose by clearing the air is more likely a gain. If everybody were to do it more, because obviously I'm not one to speak because I've lost everything, by trying to be an honest person, and the irony that a crackhead is going to get more respect, and even given the time of day, it puts you in such a dark, sad place where, when you have nothing left and you're really just too old to even bother anymore, the idea that people will still beat you up. This is the mentality that people need to find a way to address it. Call it undermining. Find some little clever slogan to stick on it. But the DARE program is a joke, and everybody knows it. And no offense to the officers, a couple of times actually, they sound like they really mean well. But I think that they're so preoccupied with reality in a completely different way that they're going through the motions, and they're reading stuff that someone passes down to them that comes with a big check, and I'm sure that well, anyway, this way freaking too long.